Hey everybody, Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. Now, a lot of times you guys ask me what's my favorite car. Well, that's almost impossible to determine what is my favorite car, but tonight we are going to check out one that is up there towards the top of my favorites on that list. Hands down, no doubt about it, as far as I'm concerned, probably one of the best looking cars ever built. And that is the 1957 Buick Roadmaster. This car here, we just picked this up out on the Western Kansas Prairie. This whole car's been sitting out there for decades, and it's rough. It's been sitting for a really long time, but a ton of cool parts on it, tons of options, plus the fact that they're just, to me, a beautiful car. We look at the back of these things, it's got these big strips all the way down the trunk handles, Roadmaster across the back, exhaust out the tips of the rear bumper, these big, huge taillight pods with the spears all the way to the top, ribs all the way around the side of these things. I mean, just a stunning, stunning car as far as I'm concerned, as far as my opinion goes. So, like I said, what is my favorite car? Who knows? But the 1957 Roadmaster is definitely right up there. So let's take a look at this one and wander around it a bit. As we look at the side of this Roadmaster, it does have the iconic Buick sweep spear on it. Now the front fender molding's inside, but we see this molding come all the way down the back, come to a point, kick back up over the rear wheels. We see a beautiful Roadmaster script on this rear door, and then the shield to go along with it. This script was, a 57 piece. This was a 57 piece. Now they had also made another version of the Roadmaster in 57 called the Roadmaster 75. Now the exterior appearance, the only thing you could really tell difference was the 75 did not use this badge, and it said 75 right here instead of using this badge. But so this is a regular Roadmaster, not the Roadmaster 75 that was available in 57. But as far as I'm concerned, I love them both. They're both beautiful cars with just very, very minor differences. This car is a four-door hardtop, and this car is loaded with options. As we kind of work our way around, we see this actually had a right side mirror on it, very uncommon for the day. These are aftermarket, but it had aftermarket wind deflectors on it. We'll come around up here towards the front. These lights are not factory, they're added on. I believe those are Studebaker pieces. But when we get up to the front of this Buick, bomb sight type hood ornament, big toothy grille, big bar across the front, says 1957 right on it, big bumper pods on the side, obviously part of the space age era. So just so many great design features about this thing. While we're here, let's take a peek under the hood. And under the hood, other than somebody got the radiator out of this car years ago, this thing is pretty much intact. And it is loaded. We see this engine compartment is pretty well packed, especially for 1957. We see right here, factory air conditioning. Very rare option back in the day. Factory power steering, factory power brakes. All kinds of accessories on this 57 Roadmaster. Of course, Roadmaster being top of the line, one notch under a Cadillac, so a lot of times these Roadmasters were loaded up, but that's why you don't see a lot of Roadmasters either. We'll come around this side, we'll take a peek inside of this thing and check out a whole bunch more cool options on this car. And as we come right around here, we can kind of peek inside the corner of the windshield right there. We see the Autronic Eye sticking up there on the dash. We'll open this thing up. Like I said, this whole car's been sitting for a really long time. But power windows, power seat. And we'll take a peek inside of here. Here's another cool piece. Obviously, we just saw the power steering. It even told you right on the steering wheel this thing had power steering on the center. Factory WonderBar radio. We see the dash vents in this thing from the factory air conditioning. We see the brake pedal even said power brakes. More of the AC vents. There's the back of the Autronic Eye right on the corner of the dash. Just really loaded up with options. A lot of stuff you just don't see on these cars from the 50s. However, like we talked about, this thing was a Roadmaster. It was top of the line, one notch below a Cadillac. So they loaded this one up with a lot of the goodies, especially for 57. But like I said, this whole car has been sitting a long time, but really pretty much all here. Very minimal amount of rust. And all these super cool Roadmaster pieces still here. All those accessories still intact. Even the control box for the Autronic Eye is still under the hood. Other than the fact that somebody swiped the radiator out of it, this thing is pretty much intact. A lot of those options could be rebuilt, repaired, added to another Buick. All this trim, so hard to find on a 57. Tons of super cool stuff there. Even the fuel door right there in the middle of the bumper. They had it marked fuel. You flip this up, and there's where you put your fuel in. Which at least Buick did make that visible. Now, if you remember back in the 50s, a lot of those were hidden. My 58 Pontiac, it's under the backup light. Cadillacs had it in the tail light. 56 Chevy had it in the tail light. So at least Buick made it easy to find, because some of those cars back in the day, it was actually a little tricky to figure out where to put fuel in it. So, but another cool touch, the Roadmaster across the trunk. I mean, just so many cool design features that really make this car definitely one of my personal favorites. We can step back. If you look at this, the side profile of this thing with the sweep spear moldings, the Roadmaster on the side. This car, originally two-tone yellow and white the way it looks, would have been an absolutely stunning car in its day. So I've always kind of had an affection for these cars. When I was a kid, Dad bought one, and actually it was a four-door hardtop, and it was a Roadmaster 75. It was one that got sold off over the years, but that car was stunning. It was a two-tone black and white 57 or 75 four-door hardtop. Always loved these cars. I've loved all the design features. So much of this stuff wasn't necessary. You didn't need all the ribs in these taillights. You didn't need this chrome spear coming up here. You didn't need the spears on the trunk. You didn't need that stuff, but it's beautiful, and that's why they did it. They did it for the design features, to make it aesthetically pleasing, to make it beautiful. The big pods on the bumper, the jet age, you know, just so many design features make these cars stand out, and that's why I'm a fan of them. So anyway, hope you liked it. Neat old car. Obviously, I was excited to pick it up. You know, coming from a background of doing Buicks, with Dad doing Buicks for years, you know, even when I was a little kid, it was always so exciting to go pick up a Roadmaster. We bought a lot of specials. We bought a lot of supers. It was always an interesting day and a special day when we got to get a Roadmaster. So when I managed to find this car, Dad and I ran out and picked this one up, and it's still cool to bring home a Roadmaster, even all these years later. Of course, when you grow up on Buicks and you sell Buick parts and you deal in Buick parts, and that's kind of what Dad specialized in, it's always cool to pick up a Roadmaster, and it still was the day for me. So that was also kind of a little personal story that made it fun, was getting to go pick up another Roadmaster. Super excited that it was actually a 57 and a beautiful car. So anyway, there it is. There's the walk around. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Been buying tons and tons of inventory. We've got so much cool stuff we got to show you that I haven't even had time to shoot yet. So stay tuned. We have a lot more stuff coming up. If there's anything you've got questions about, vehicles, parts, we've got 1,500 cars and trucks on the ground right now. If you've got questions about any of that stuff, just give me a call. 620-786-4428. That number's on the page. Give me a shout. We can have a short conversation about your project, year, make, model, body style, the parts you need, what you're looking for in particular. But you know, having that short conversation is the only way that I'm going to get all the information I need from you to know if I've got something here that can help you out. So be sure to check that out. Stay tuned. We got tons more videos coming up. You don't want to miss those. So be sure to click that subscribe button. Be sure to click that notification button so you can check out what we've got coming up. Whole row of new inventory right here. We haven't showed you any of these cars yet. Lots of cool stuff coming up. So click that subscribe button, click that notification button so you can stay up to date with what's going on and catch those videos as soon as they come out. So plus we do a lot of cool live stuff on here. You don't want to miss any of that. As always, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned. Tons more cool stuff coming up. Hope to see you soon on the next video.